It's time for some Prime, and the doctor is in.
I'm the doctor.
No, Doctor, I'm the doctor, and I say that you're not fit.
You may be a doctor, but I'm the doctor. The definite article, you might say.
Someone who knew the future pointed out a child to you and told you that that child would grow up totally evil, to be a ruthless dictator who would destroy millions of lives. Could you then kill that child? Do I have the right? I'm not a human being. I walk in eternity.
Don't forget me.
Sarah, don't you forget me.
You know, the very powerful and the very stupid have one thing in common. They don't alter their views to fit the facts. They alter the facts to fit the views.
Well, we're waiting.
It has begun!
I am Optimus Prime.
I'm in my prime.
Welcome to prime time, bitch!
Yeah, baby!
I hope you enjoyed that little intro. And yes, Doctor Who is one of my favorite shows to watch. Some New Who kind of is iffy at times. There's good and bad. There's good stuff with David Tennant. There's bad stuff. I didn't really watch the Jodie Whittaker Doctor to really judge it. I haven't seen those episodes, and I haven't seen the Nawari, I think it's how you pronounce his Doctor. I know he was the shortest strain. I think he only had like 19 episodes. And I don't know how the new Doctor's going to go, Rose, the Rose Doctor, but we'll see, when it comes out. But overall, I've got like a majority of the New Who in collected sets from Eccleston all the way to Peter Capaldi. And I've watched about half those episodes, and they're pretty decent overall. But the classic Doctor Who from 1963 to 1989 is my jam. It's probably one of my favorite shows, with the cheap monsters on how they done it, the behind-the-scenes issues they had to fight, how they had to film on such a limited budget. And it's amazing that they put out a series like this. And people like point at the BBC losing money and all this stuff, but imagine how they had to put out a show like this with Doctor Who and try to get this show in under this tight budget constantly. They had to reuse sets, they had to reuse hallways, and just to try to make it work. But included in these pickups that I got over the summer is my favorite Doctor, and I'm going to start with it. It's Tom Baker. I've been watching this one. This is the complete season 6. This is his 6th year as the Doctor with Romana. This is the second Romana, Mila Ward. And him and Ward were a couple behind the scenes. And it's what made the show so endearing. You could see that Baker really has something for her, in this series. How they interact. And even one of the writers said that his mom was watching and said, hey, those two are a couple, aren't they? Because of how they interact on TV. And yeah, they really did good on that one. Now, my second one is Doctor Who Complete Season 7. And this is the final season of the 4th Doctor. And this one has all 28 episodes involved. And this one, it's sad that the Doctor's leaving after this one, the Tom Baker Doctor. But his time had come, he had been there the longest. The Baker Doctor had been there 7 years. He loved the role. Even in the interviews, when you see him older, he calls it the best time of his life. He was in the role that he loved to do. And he, I think Tom Baker probably would have stayed forever if he didn't decide to leave after the 7th season. And it's kind of sad. But things were changing. The series was undergoing a change. And it was, time for him to go. And I've got like 3 of the seasons out of his 7. There's 4. I think there's 1 or 2 more seasons I got to get on Blu-ray. I would love to complete that and them to put out the Key of Time. I think that's what it's called, the Key of Time arc, season 4 or 5. I'd like to get the whole 7 years of Tom Baker on Blu-ray eventually, hopefully, maybe by Christmas, possibly. Maybe that'll be the Christmas Prime pickup. But anyhow, I picked up Peter Davis, complete season 1. Peter Davison. This was this one has the Earthshock story, and Earthshock is really the the series that really made an impact on everything. It was a dark story. It was a dark story, and it's dark for what happens to Adric. And I had heard that Adric's death, was his death just, it affects the Doctor even to today. There's a scene, in one of the later Doctor stories where he says his name. His death, impacted the Doctor for years. And it's something that he couldn't stop. It's a key part in time. We learn it's a key part that he can't interfere with. That's one of the stories, and I don't think the companion, the guy that played Adric, liked it because his character could never come back. I mean, the other characters could come back; they could be seen in later stories, but Adric was pretty much gone. He could never come back. Now, I went ahead and got the first season of a very much criticized Doctor, and this one is Colin Baker, his first season. And the Colin Baker Doctor with his costume was very much ripped on. Colin Baker, he was given he worked on one costume, and that costume actually showed up in the radio plays, and he showed how it was, I think it was more one color, and it suited him. Well, somebody comes up with this rainbow color suit, and his first appearance really didn't help because his Doctor was trying to do the first Doctor's mannerisms more, where he was more grumpy and, sort of that mindset, but he come across pretty bad because he chokes his companion in the first, first time you see him, he's choking out his companion, and it's very dark. And the BBC had, I think, went to 45-minute episodes and shortened it. I think that's how they did it. The show was changing, and they was trying to fit it more. I've seen a couple of the episodes online. That's why I picked it up, because it's a Doctor I don't really have all the episodes. I've never seen all the episodes too. And finally, the last season set I picked up was Sylvester McCoy. This is the first season of Sylvester McCoy. He was the 7th Doctor. They call him the chess master Doctor because his dark side is shown with how he works something, because he's just tired of playing around with God, what's that character's name? There's a scene, Davros. There's a scene where he interacts with Davros and is just tired of playing with Davros, and he does something dark, and they call him the chess master with how he does things. It's a very dark series. Ace is introduced. Ace, if anybody don't remember Ace, and I think she was supposed to be American. I think she's supposed to be the first American character, I believe. Now, don't hold me to it. If a Doctor Who fan's here, they can tell me. This is season 1. I'd like to get all his seasons. I think his seasons are available. The Sylvester McCoy Doctor lasted like 3 years, and then they just went ahead and ended it. Now, another one I picked up, and this was a cheap DVD. I was going to get the Blu-ray to stay with Blu-rays, but I was like, this is cheaper, fit in with the budget over the summer. And these are the 60th anniversary specials. This set up a good mystery on the 15th Doctor. This was the return of David Tennant. And I'll never forget that final, that episode where he's like, what? He's like holding his face. He can't believe it because he's never regenerated again into the same face. And he's like, what's going on here? Something's off. And I remember watching these specials, and I always remember the Celestial Toy Maker. The Toy Maker was one of my, favorites. The Wild Blue Yonder was another one. I mean, it was like it's classic. They land on a ship. I believe that's the one where they land on the ship. And it was classic Doctor Who. The monster is classic. Everything about it. I like these specials. I like that. And they changed regeneration. Regeneration changes. Because they need to change the rules up. You got to do a little shock to the system at times. And maybe Doctor Who needed it. You know, this little, okay, wait a minute, this could happen now. And finally, I went away from Doctor Who. I decided to pick up something special for Halloween. A month away, because you're going to see this in late August, September. I went ahead and picked up this Halloween double feature. All Hallows Eve and All Hallows Eve 2. And this one introduces Art the Clown. This series introduces Art the Clown, as you can see here. And, yeah, I had to pick this one up. Yeah, it's not Doctor Who related, but I had to pick it up. And this is a good one. Come out and play. Don't answer the door. I like that. But, yeah, that's my pickups over the summer, Amazon Prime-wise. I'm collecting the Doctor Who sets. I'm hoping by Christmas I can get some more. I can just find some more sets and build my collection. I know the David Hartnell Doctors, or the William Hartnell Doctors on there. I know the John Pertwee, however you pronounce his Doctor, some of his season sets are on there. There's some more McCoy and a season 2 of Colin Baker. So there's more seasons on there that I could get. So I hoped I could build my collection. Just keep collecting those sets as the summer goes. But, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this haul. I hope you enjoy these pickups over the summer of Amazon Prime. And time to go watch some Doctor, baby. Some Doctor.